Hello, it's us again.
Hi guys, welcome to Vander Farmers.
I'm Marjolein.
I'm Chef Jody.
And we're happy to have you here.
And we are gonna cook up this beautiful hammer bone today.
Yeah.
Just in time for the holidays. It would look great on your holiday table for sure.
Yes, it will fall off this bone. Doesn't look like it right now, but
we're gonna get it there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it there.
Yep. So what are we gonna do today?
Well, this comes from the cow's leg above the knee. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in the ossobuco family. So this typically needs a lot of attention, but it's pretty much one of those set it and forget it kind of meats. So once you get it to that spot, which is fairly simple.
Oh yeah.
You just, let it cook and then it's ready for your table while you get all your side dishes ready and everything.
Okay, what are we gonna do first?
We have a little bit of sinew, so we're gonna take that off. Sinew isn't very palatable.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
I think the first time I made it, I didn't take it off, and it's like, I don't know, it looked like the meat was hanging on there.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So you do need a nice sharp knife for this, and try not to score the meat. We're gonna try not to.
This is better one. I know it's probably not the right one, not the prettiest one, but it's sharp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you with your little bag of tricks.
Sometimes.
So it is tough, so be careful guys, don't hurt yourself.
Because we're right around the corner from Christmas, so you don't want to end up in a hospital sewing your fingers back together.
Right?
Yeah.
So once you get it started, it just basically will peel right off.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna take that all the way around and you said this was sharp, you lied to me.
Sorry. Don't show this to people. No. Where is my sharpener?
It's okay, I'm gonna make my fingers do the work.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
They can cut this out.
Yeah, cut it out.
Yeah, I don't know where my sharpener is.
It's probably on the food truck.
Yeah, now that you say that, you're probably right, yeah. Sorry guys, we're trying. It's gone.
I didn't have this much trouble this morning. I should have brought my knives.
This cow was older. No, I'm teasing.
Okay, here we go. Now we got it.
No, all our cows we butcher between when they are 26 and 30 months old. So it takes a little longer for a Wagyu cow to be ready.
Yeah, that is a little bit longer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Angus is 18 months or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Angus is 18 months.
Yeah, this is double almost, no, it's not double, but you know what I'm trying to say. Because we have the question, people that don't know Wagyu, why is it so much more expensive? That's one of the
It takes longer to raise them.
Oh yeah.
So you're feeding them, you're
Yeah.
housing them, all that stuff.
Yep, all takes extra.
So talk to me about how this all came about.
Oh yeah, that's funny, yeah. So because it's like we're really close to Christmas, and so it's 10 years ago this year.
10 years?
Yes. So
wow.
I am a late shopper.
Okay.
So 2 weeks before Christmas, I was looking for a gift for Mario, and Mario likes to cook and grill and prepare food. So I thought, and we went to Coldwater to a restaurant where they had Wagyu steak that summer. So I thought, with Christmas, I thought about it again, and we really liked the flavor of Wagyu. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy him a tomahawk steak, a Wagyu tomahawk steak. So I start calling around, and everybody, they were sold out. They didn't have it, or they didn't make it anymore, or anyway. So 5 or 6, farmers later, I couldn't find it. I still found a tomahawk steak. An Angus one. It was still really good. So after Christmas, I told Mario, I wanted to buy you this Wagyu. I said, you remember that we went to the restaurant and, we both liked the Wagyu so much, the flavor was insane. I said, but I tried to buy you the tomahawk steak, a Wagyu one, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So then he answered like, you know what? Then we're gonna grow them ourselves. So that's how it started.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's 10 years ago.
That's a great story.
Yeah, I think so. It's the Christmas gift that keeps giving. That's
For
what
sure.
I say.
So we're gonna fancy this bad boy up.
Yeah.
We've got some rosemary sprigs here. Rosemary and beef. match made in heaven, right?
I love rosemary.
And right here I left the sinew on because this is where the bone runs.
Okay.
So that'll kind of melt off as it cooks.
Okay.
Okay. And it'll keep the bone nice and intact.
Yeah.
So essentially we're just gonna...
Look like you are making a flower arrangement.
Yeah, yeah. Smell that.
Oh yeah,
It smells
so
great.
good. Yeah.
So we're gonna tie this roast too, because you mentioned that when you cooked one, the meat was just kind of hanging.
Yeah, it was hanging on that, and it kind of fell apart. I should have done this.
So we're just gonna tie it.
Yeah.
Butcher twine, food safe, heat safe, all that fun stuff.
So that's everything you need?
And then some salt and pepper.
Huh. I would put like much more around it. I would probably cover the whole thing up, and then it overpowers.
Oh yeah, that would overpower it.
Okay.
If you're, one of my favorite things to do with roasts too, and we're not doing it this time, but if you roast garlic, and you put it in the freezer,
okay,
and then you insert nice big holes,
and
you stick it inside the meat, flavors from the outside in. Oh. So we're gonna put it in this roasting pan right now just to season it up. And you want to be liberal about this.
Yeah.
Really liberal.
Yeah.
Good kosher salt, good black pepper. He's a little bigger than my pan.
Yeah. Now, yeah, it's a thick piece of meat, so you want to have a lot of pepper and salt on there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Just like
so
that.
How did you start your career? Why did you become a chef?
Oh my gosh.
What makes you so passionate about prepping food?
I love cooking. I grew up around the kitchen table essentially. That's where all our family always would meet. We would hang out in the kitchen. I don't think I sat on my mom's couch until I was an adult. We were always at the kitchen table, and just eating good food. It instills memories in me, and I just like to recreate that memory through food.
So who taught you? Was it your mom, your grandma, or?
Both my grandmas were very good cooks. My mom was a very good cook. They home cooks.
Oh, yeah.
Made things up as they went along.
Yeah.
So I kind of like to think on my feet, that kind of stuff. So.
So what was your favorite dish that grandma made for you or your mom? First grandma.
Okay, so my dad's mom, she would make she was English, so she would make a roast dinner with cream cucumbers, Yorkshire pudding, all that stuff. It was so good, so good. And then my mom's mom, best spaghetti and meatballs ever.
So simple, but so good.
Yes, so good, so good. So yeah, and my mom, she was a good baker. She made a lot of good things. So we're gonna get this hot, and we're gonna give this a sear on all the sides.
Okay.
Because when you sear the meat before you braise it, it creates a crust.
Yeah.
And it adds to the flavor of the broth, and it also protects the meat.
Oh yeah.
If you will.
So then it keeps the juices inside, and that's what you want?
It keeps the juices inside, it protects it from drying out, and it just makes a better all-around meal.
Yum.
So I'm gonna start with a little tallow in here, get that hot, and then we'll go and drop that in here.
Yes.
Okay, so Marlene, you make this tallow.
Yes.
It's not too hard.
So yeah, I make this tallow. Sorry.
So tell us how you make this tallow.
So I grab Wagyu fat, and then I grab a big pan where you normally do a turkey or a chicken.
Yeah.
And I throw, say, 20 pounds in there. I throw it in the oven, put the oven on 175, and just let it sit there for hours.
Okay.
And say 6 to 8 hours, and I take the pan out, and there's really nothing left of the fat. And then I kind of squeeze it out, and then you have to, I never know the word, you have to clarify, is it clarifying?
Clarify it, yes.
Then I clarify it one time, and then I throw it back into a pot, and then add water to it, so then the tallow smell gets out of it a little bit more.
Right.
But if you just want to use this for cooking, the first round, then it's good. You know, you clarify it and you stick it in a jar.
Right.
But if you want to make also like lotions or soap from it, you know, you have to clarify it a little bit longer because it has a beefy smell.
Right.
And you don't want to put a beefy smell on your face, for
You
example.
don't want the dogs following you home.
So then I just cook it 3 more times with water. You have to sit at it. So if you really want to use it for lotions, you know, that's a little bit time consuming. But
Sure.
I like doing it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's great product for sure.
And it's also like you talked about, you know, this is just like a plain one, but if I cook it later, like then I cook it with some rosemary.
Rosemary,
And then you get this flavor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready for our roast. Okay. So, tallow also has a higher smoking point.
Yes.
So, you want to hear that sizzle.
Now, yeah, it's the butter from the early days.
It is.
And then we start making fake butter.
Right?
Yeah.
My granddaughter has some skin issues,
Oh, yeah.
and tallow actually works for her.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of benefits.
You think about it, it comes full circle back to the earth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. But it's so interesting that we now, you know, in the early days, this was the normalest thing. And then, you know, we start making fake stuff.
Right.
And now people start realizing what we put in our bodies and on our bodies. And they, you know, tallow is like a really popular item now. I sell it a lot in the store.
It's also very delicious.
Yes. Yeah, it gives an extra flavor.
So if you can't tell already why this is called the hammer bone, because it looks like Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
So this is essentially the marrow in here will melt down into the meat as well.
And gives it some extra flavor.
Makes a good handle too.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna get this brown on all sides. We're gonna take it out, put it in our pot, and then we're gonna do a little mirepoix and build the stock.
Yum. I'm excited. I don't have to make dinner tonight.
No, you don't. You don't. You don't.
So did you go to culinary school too?
I did. I did go to culinary school. I have always been someone who has the thirst of knowledge.
Yeah.
I love to learn. And I put my career on hold to have a family.
Yeah.
And then I decided that I needed to do something once my son was ready to go to school.
Yeah.
And I loved cooking, and I thought, oh, why not culinary school?
Yeah.
And I just loved it. It was great. So
did you do that after you had your?
yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I had a goal
Yeah.
to be a chef by the time I was 40, and I met that goal. So
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah. Now, yeah, you know, it can be a big step to go back to school when after you have your family, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, shall I do this or not?
Right.
How does it work? Can I find the time? It can be hard sometimes.
Yeah, it was well worth it for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
When you're cooking this, you're
Yeah.
gonna want to, because it's such a large piece of meat,
Yeah.
it will cool the temperature down pretty quickly.
Okay.
So to keep that nice even browning, you're gonna want to keep an eye on the temperature inside your pan.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna keep moving it. Get all the sides.
It looks like a smiley face. Smiley face and a nose and 2 eyes. Did you see that? That's so funny. 2 eyes, a nose, and
It does.
sorry, I have a big imagination.
No, that's okay. That's what makes us amusing, right?
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah, I did hotel management school.
You did?
Yeah, so I was for the, how do you call it here, the front room? How do you call
Front
it?
of the house.
Front of the house, yeah. So I always like to be around people. I like to talk to people. I like to entertain people. Yeah, I talk a lot, sometimes too much.
Well,
I
that's
make a lot of noise, but nothing comes out of it. That's what Mario says.
just, the bone's getting a little hot, so I'm just
Oh,
gonna use my towel here.
I should grab the heat glove.
Oh no, you're fine.
Yeah, you're a chef.
Yeah, you're fine.
You burn yourself all the time.
Pay no attention to the small fire we just had. All right, she's looking pretty good.
Yeah. So what's next?
We are going to
Oh yeah, you said that. But
eventually put this in the oven. So one of the things we want to do though is we want to protect that bone. While this is still hot, I'm going to throw in my mirepoix. Do you know what mirepoix is?
A mix of vegetables, I assume?
Yep, celery, onion, carrots. Celery, onion, carrots. And when you're building like a braising liquid, you want aromatics. So the herbs are the aromatics.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna fortify this.
You're
and
gonna do what?
Fortify.
Fortify?
So that means just to create the building blocks for the broth. So we're gonna do a little tomato paste and a little bit of red wine.
Yeah.
And that'll fortify it. And then we're gonna finish with a really good beef stock.
Did you make the stock yourself?
Yes, I made it yesterday.
Huh.
Whatever you can make on your own, it's well worth it. But I also know that there's not a lot of time in the day, and so if you need to take those shortcuts.
Sometimes people think things take a long time, but
they don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of like the tallow. Okay, it's time consuming for 3-4 hours if you work on it, but this I make it and then I have tallow for weeks.
Right.
So yeah, it's a process for that time, but late, yeah.
What's really good is making fried rice with tallow.
Really?
Yeah, so good.
That's going to be on the next show.
So now we're gonna go and we're gonna season this first. You always want to, build those layers. And then we're gonna get some tomato paste in there. And we want to caramelize the tomato paste. So
how do you do that?
It'll start to cook and it'll caramelize the sugars in there, and then we'll be ready for our red wine. So the French term, because you learn a lot of French words in cooking, the word is pincer.
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 Learning English was already a struggle. Now I have to learn French too.
How did you learn English?
No, it's you call it mandatory in the Netherlands. I'm from the Netherlands.
It's mandatory, yeah.
Because in Europe, you have Belgium, they speak French. You have France, they speak French, and then you go to Spain. If you travel in Europe, there was always everybody speaks English except for the French. They always pretend they don't understand you. Sorry, French people.
When you're gonna deglaze your pan with wine, buy a decent.
First take a sip yourself.
Buy a decent bottle of wine. It's worth it.
Oh yeah,
if you wouldn't drink it, don't cook with it.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree. Now, I like to make onion soup.
Ooh.
And then white wine goes in there. No, white wine. Yes. So you want to have like a good one, otherwise it's kind of like ugh.
Yeah.
The flavor is off.
I put brandy and marsala in my French onion soup.
I'm gonna do that next time. Oh, listen. I love the sound.
So this is definitely a showstopper for a holiday meal.
Yes, yeah.
For sure, right?
I hope so. No, it looks
what would
like
you serve with that?
Maybe risotto or rice
risotto.
or risotto.
Risotto?
Sorry about my English or French.
If you wanted to take it the Italian route, you could do polenta.
What's polenta?
Polenta is like cornmeal.
Oh, yes.
What else? Mashed potatoes.
I want to say, but would you do regular mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes? I would like sweet potatoes.
I think you could do both.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because the carrots are sweet too.
Right.
Oh, look, it's thickening.
Yep. Creating a little layers of wonderfulness.
The smell is amazing, people.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So once we build the broth, we're gonna wrap this bone because it's gonna be exposed when we put it in the oven.
And you don't want it to dry out?
We want it to stay nice and white and pristine so that when you take that out and put that on that platter, it's gonna look so beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, so we have our red wines cooked out. We'll add our stock.
Oh my gosh.
We'll let that get all happy. And then we'll put it in here. And then we'll set it and forget it.
So how long, what's the temperature for the oven?
Temperature at 350.
Yeah, okay.
And this roast, I would give it 3 to 4 hours,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Put it in the morning, get your appetizers ready for the table,
Yeah.
have everybody come in.
Or you ask your guests to bring the appetizers. So you only have to concentrate on your main dish.
There you go. You think smarter than I do.
Oh yeah, that's the American way, right? That's kind of nice. That's what we like in the United States. Everybody brings, you know,
Yep.
something. So you
Yep.
you're not like cooking the whole day and go crazy or
Right.
be stressed out. It's kind of nice. You know, you take care of the main dish, and then you can ask your guests, can you bring, you know, the side dishes? I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a friend's house and have Christmas dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So this is all getting nice and happy. You know, just bring it to a little bit of a boil, and then we're gonna get it in there.
But this is gonna cook with it, so that will be.
All the vegetables will start to break down,
Yeah.
and you can at the end take your roast out and turn this liquid into a gravy.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah, I keep the vegetables in there, but then I take most of the juices out, and then I turn it into a thicker gravy, and then like you can just.
You don't keep the vegetables in?
Yeah, no, I throw the vegetables already, but I don't want to mix the vegetables up with the gravy.
Oh.
Because I use my, how do you call the thing, it smashes everything up.
Oh, food processor?
Thank you. You see, it sounds like him, so once in a while. My English doesn't always cover everything I want to say.
That's okay. So we're gonna carefully put this in here.
And we'll step aside.
Step aside.
Shake it.
All right. And when you're braising, that was a bad noise, I'm sorry. When you're braising, you want the liquid to come up about halfway on the meat.
Why?
You don't want it to be completely submerged,
Oh.
because then you're basically making like soup.
Oh, because sometimes I make a different cut, but then I make sure everything is covered.
What cut is that?
It's just oh my gosh, how do you call it? It's a roast.
A roast?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I cut it also in smaller pieces,
Okay.
because then I have the feeling like it's gonna do the right thing, so it cooks it through and through.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But this is different.
So we're gonna cover this bone.
She's gonna cover it like a Christmas gift.
Yep. And that's gonna keep it all nice and clean and ready to go. And we're gonna pop this in the oven.
Nice. You see the clock going really fast. I'll say 3-4 hours later. Pull this. Smells good.
Wrap it up like a little blanket. And there we are. Not too hard, right?
No.
And we just set it and forget it.
No.
See you in a few hours. All right.
Oh, showtime. Ooh.
See?
Oh, yeah.
See how beautiful that bone stayed?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You guys see this?
Look at
this
that.
baby.
Look
Yum.
at that. And then we have all this
Yeah.
great juice in here that we can make gravy out of.
Yeah.
You can strain it or you can keep those vegetables in there.
My mouth is watering again. We always do this around. We always tape between two. So then we tape for a couple hours, so then we're all hungry, even the people behind the camera, right?
Take off this string. There we go.
You see, I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, I want to bite, I want to bite, I want to bite, I want to bite.
Look at that beauty.
Yeah.
Some potatoes around there,
Yes.
some herbs,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff. And it stayed on the bone, but you could tell it's done.
Oh yeah. It will fall off.
So the little bit of sinew that I left
yep.
here.
Yep. So for how many people do you think this is?
This way? How many people?
Yeah. This was how many pounds? Was 4?
4 pounds.
A little bit over 4 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So it's 4 people?
Yeah, totally.
Because now it's now you only see the meat, but you know, that's for a lot of people. You know, I have that question a lot. You know, how much?
Sure.
So what's a normal? If you buy a steak, how much? I almost wanted to say grams, but that doesn't make sense for you. How many ounces per person would you?
I like to roughly think 5 to 6 ounces.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're serving with it.
Yeah.
And then you have to know your audience too. If
Like
they're
there's difference between a 16-year-old kid or 21-year-old kid and us.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was gonna eat a whole steak, and I only do half steak.
Same
I can
here.
never eat a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have it.
Yeah. So if you like what you're seeing, what do we have to say again?
I think we have to try it first.
Oh yeah, we have to. Oh, sorry, people. I jumped it way to the end already.
Ooh. We got to do our.
Do that again, Marjolein.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's put it up here. Oh, she's just falling off the bone
Yeah.
there.
You cannot lift it up with the bone. No.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
sorry.
What are you sorry for?
Nou ja, because the phone was. Oh my gosh,
So good.
it's a little warm, but it's really good.
Oh, hot.
Yeah. The people at home cannot see this, but the marbling.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh.
The marbling in there. And the bone is completely empty.
Yeah,
All that marrow went inside of there. Absolutely stunning.
so good.
So good. You guys want a bite?
Behind the camera, it's like you're all like, it's hot. It's kind of like I threw it.
On camera, man.
Get it in there.
All right, what did you say that this was?
This is a hammer bone.
All right, let's give it a try. Wow. You could definitely taste the flavors in that guy right there.
Yeah, it's so good.
So, happy holidays
Yes.
from us to you. This is a great piece of meat to have for your family for dinner. And if you like what you see, come watch us again. And don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and email.
And everything in between.
Comment.
See
See you guys on the next episode. And have a
Happy
Merry
Christmas.